time for the useless news.
Useless news.
Right here on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Venkman reporting.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Venkman. I got a little touch of the crypto. Apologize for that. It's always sponsored by Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa, which also has a little touch of the crypto as well. Over the weekend, was able to meet with my cousin. It was actually last night, and he had that question. He's like, "So, is there actually pork in the salsa?"
In Uncle, it's pure pork.
Yeah, that's
But only in the name?
only in the name.
Not
So
in the,
if you've
not
ever
in the
hesitated,
salsa.
if you've hesitated in buying Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa
Because maybe
because of the pork,
it's not kosher.
maybe you're not a pork eater, relax. There's no pork in Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa.
What? Say that?
There's
I
no
had it.
pork in Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa.
You mean so we got the domain Pure Pork Salsa for a salsa with no pork in it?
Maybe you saw this about, this is from New York, a local news reporter from Washington, D.C., ended up getting covered in what is, you didn't see any of the coverage. Wall-to-wall, 24-hour news coverage.
You know what I did see? I watched on Hulu
Yeah?
a documentary about Prey Home Companion.
A local news reporter from Washington, D.C. ended up getting covered in what is probably the remnants of raw sewage as he delivered live hurricane reports. Back to you, Betty.
Raw sewage moving in from the north.
He was reporting from Ocean City, Maryland. WTTG
Was
TV
that-
reporter Tucker Barnes was providing live
Ocean.
updates for stations around the country as a wall of what he described as sea foam poured over him.
Ocean City?
Ocean City, absolutely. You had your mouth full there.
Yeah,
You had popcorn.
popcorn.
It was Ocean City. It's right next to over there in the Sunshine City is over there as well. He was on the boardwalk. Hurricane Irene hit the coast of Maryland. He noted that he had immersed himself in organic material. That organic material was most likely the effects of raw sewage pouring into the water during the storm. He says, it doesn't taste great. Gnurk, we've got to get a clip of this video, and we'll play it later. It doesn't taste great. He said it had a sandy consistency. And he added, I can tell you firsthand, it doesn't smell great either. The foam is often a toxic mix of pollution and cyanobacteria. 60-mile-per-hour winds sprayed the toxic mix across the reporter and the boardwalk and coated the buildings. There's a picture of him, and he's just covered in goop. It looks like he's been slimed. Bubbles and foam in the ocean can be caused by several other things, including oils from decomposing animals. But most likely, this was crap. In Montreal, after numerous frustrating phone calls with bureaucrats, Sunshine Rose will exist in the eyes of the Quebec government, and her mom will not have to show her vagina to anyone to prove that the 5-month-old infant is actually hers. Heather Mattingsley.
What? You would actually have to show the vagina.
Really?
As some
That's your
sort of-
5-month-old? Prove it!
I can't tell the difference.
Right now, in America,
He looks like her,
you can get
but what about the vagina?
You can get welfare for damn near anything in America, but in Canada, they really want to get on in there. Heather Mattingsley, who gave birth in March, has spent her time since birth trying to convince the director, I guess it would be the government in her city, that even though she engaged the help of an unlicensed midwife to give birth at her home, the baby is actually hers. The baby is hers. Days after birth,
Unlicensed midwife.
apparently that's the monkey in the wrench here. Days after the birth, as required, she provided the government in charge of issuing birth certificates.
Where would you find an unlicensed midwife?
I think there were some actually on Broadway.
Correct, those aren't midwives.
They were willing. You have to be in. They have to send some stuff to the government in charge of issuing birth certificates with an ultrasound, a doctor's letter, and an attestation of birth. But none of that was good enough. This week, the agency said that she'd have to get a vaginal examination. A procedure that doctors and midwives alike agreed would prove absolutely nothing. You're going to have to get an examination.
Now, how long
We're going to
after
have to prove that a baby came through those loins.
how long after the baby was born were they doing the exam?
We are 5 months.
5 months. I mean, I don't know how long it takes for that all to come back together. Less
thinking
than 5 months, I would hope.
More than a day.
Hopefully, more than a day, less than 5 months.
Quote, they're saying, we're not doubting the pregnancy. We're doubting that you birthed a live child, said the mom, Mattingsley, who's collecting maternity benefits and breastfeeding. How is a vaginal exam going to prove that? Late Friday, after many calls from the media, the agency's director called her and said after reviewing her file personally, he decided that she didn't need to go in for the examination, but he said she still had to provide an ultrasound. But unlike the first one, this one had to be signed by a doctor.
Wait a second. Didn't they have a baby as proof that she gave birth? No, that's not your baby, ma'am. What?
That doesn't look like you at all.
But she
That
just-
baby is black.
Maybe it was just covered in raw sewage.
A spokesman for the agency said she couldn't discuss the
I
case.
will retreat as soon as if it gets any more dangerous than this, of course. But right now we're okay. We're just getting some gusty winds, and again, the waves haven't successfully breached the wall. Just the sea foam at this point.
Sea foam.
Sea foam.
Just a little sea foam. Sea foam, just a little sea foam
That
here.
was a sea log.
This guy
That's
covered-
what that was.
Covered from a little nutty. A spokesman for the agency said she couldn't discuss the case in particular, but when anyone gives birth without a doctor or licensed midwife present, they have to prove the biological link between mother and child. Shouldn't they just go on Maury and
Can't
he'll
they
do
do
it
a
for them?
DNA? Yeah.
Come on.
Now, would they'd have to have an ultrasound,
An
a baby,
ultrasound,
and some sea foam?
some sea foam, and you turn that into the government, and you're
And
A-okay.
You said they needed an attestation.
Of which I am totally ignorant. I have no idea what that is.
Is that like some part of the placenta?
I don't know why. I don't know how much FedEx costs to ship that.
You'll get out of there, and you can get out of there pretty expeditiously, right?
Yeah,
sea
yeah,
foam
yeah. I'm
here.
just stepped away from my hotel door, so I'll head up to the 4th floor here and do the rest of the reporting from there shortly.
From the shower.
I'll do it from the shower. Don't worry about me. And last but not least, a week has
That
passed.
guy knows the difference. Sea foam from Shinola.
You know what? He's probably given the report, and he's like, sea foam. It's just a little sea foam, and at this point in time,
You just said it has a sandy consistency. What does it? It smells like ocean, I take it?
well, sandy.
Yeah,
They're like, that's not sea foam. Back to you, Bob.
The anchors are encouraging them. They're in the booth, just like, no, really.
Really, turn around and face it.
Tell us exactly what this is like. A week has passed since the police have yet to make an arrest in the crash and grab theft of an $800 Pipe Dream Extreme F Me Silly 3 mega masturbator from an Ohio sex shop. Someone stole this. The Lorain County Sheriff's Office investigators are still hunting for the man who last Monday used the stolen tractor to open the rear doors. Oh, he went in through the rear. That's good to know.
At the sex shop.
Yeah,
With a
yeah.
tractor.
Surveillance video revealed that after busting the doors apart, the doors of the shop, around 2:25 a.m., a white male perpetrator wearing a Big Dumb Fun Show shirt
What?
can be seen swiping the masturbator kit. My name is Venkman. That's the Useless News and the Big Dumb Fun Show. Where were you, Gnurk? Useless News, BigDumbFunShow.com.